What do you know about Casey Jones Distillery in Hopkinsville, Kentucky? A good friend of mine has been telling me about them. I've been wanting to try out their product. The guys over at Casey Jones were nice enough to send these products over. I'm really excited to dig into them. There's a lot of heritage here. You want to learn a little bit more about them? Stick around. Hey guys, welcome back to Brutally Honest Bourbon. So today we're going to talk about Casey Jones Distillery out of Hopkinsville, Kentucky. So Casey Jones is a distillery that was revived by the grandson of Casey Jones. Casey Jones was a distiller back in Al Capone's day that made some of the most distinguishable product known. Law enforcement knew his still just when they saw it. Al Capone knew his product without a shadow of a doubt and preferred it. And so we'll talk a little bit today about them and what makes them so unique. But one of the biggest things that you're going to hear is the style and the shape of this pot still that they made. So back then, Casey said that he had never seen a pot still. The first pot still he ever saw was the first one he built. He decided to build all of his pot stills out of copper because the other materials that were available were supposedly laced with like lethal type of coatings and that kind of thing. So he knew exactly what caliber copper to get and exactly how much of it to utilize in building his still. But then he went a step further and he built these stills square so that you could easily move them during the Prohibition era. They would fit easily into the bed of like a wagon, which, rectangular, square shaped, very unique, right? Well, fast forward to the brand being revived by AJ, who is still their master distiller, the grandson of Casey Jones. They still have one of those stills on site, and they still utilize that methodology to building their stills even today. So we've got several different products here that I'm really excited to talk to you about. We'll go through them one by one. They sent over some of their 250th anniversary stuff that I'm really excited to get into and talk about. But I think we'll just look at these by proof. One of them is an Amberana finish. I think we'll do that Amberana finish dead last. But we'll kind of go through them by proof and see what we think about them and talk it through. So that Amberana over here out of the way. This 250th Revere come with this really cool coin. So we all know that America's 250th birthday is coming up. And these 250th Revere bottles are paying homage to Paul Revere, who took that ride that night to warn people of what was coming. But we've got a small batch in this, and we've got a single barrel. So it's going to be barrel proof from a single cask. So I think the first one we'll start out with will be this Casey Jones Total Eclipse. So it's going to be a 5-year product. It's going to be yellow corn, wheat, rye, and malted barley. First up, we'll look into this Total Eclipse and see what we think about it. So Casey Jones Total Eclipse Kentucky Straight Bourbon. It's critically acclaimed 4-grain citrus and oak bodied bourbon. It's been talked about on Forbes. It's a blend of 75% corn, 10% Kentucky soft wheat, 10% rye, and 5% malted barley, aged a minimum of 5 years in wood-fired Kelvin cooperage, number 4 char barrels, craft small batches of 2 to 4 barrel production. It's cut to 100 proof. It's unique, subtle, it has some flavor notes there that we're not going to get into because I want to choose the flavor, or I want to see the flavors that I get off of it without doing that. So let's get us a glass, get this thing poured up. All right, so let's see what we think about the old Casey Jones Total Eclipse 5-year product. See the color there. Nice golden color for a 5-year Kentucky whiskey. On the nose, I'm getting a lot of bright fruits, like nuttiness. I'd say I'm getting like pecan on it, but I also feel like I'm getting like peach or apricot, maybe a hint of like raisin. Nose is nice. Let's see what it's like. Has a really good texture to it. Has a lot of honey like flavors going on with it. Picked up a little bit of tobacco there on the front end. It's velvety. Like it's such a smooth texture. It's absolutely delicious. Nice little hug for 100 proof. Finish is decent for 100 proof, like it carries. Coat your palate really well. Okay, that's a really good bourbon. It does have some of those tart fruits in there. A little bit like a peach would have that tartness to it. It's not super duper complex, but it's a really good sip. The flavors are really good. It's almost like maybe like some pecan pie going on there. I don't get any crust. I'm just a sweeter caramelized type pecan. I like the finish. Got a nice peppery spice there that just kind of lingers on the palate. Okay. You know, if we're going to rank that, we rank everything out of 5, right? And we're ranking this as a 100 proof bourbon, not as a cash strength GTS or something like that, right? Some special 15, 20 year offering. It's a 5-year whiskey, 100 proof out of Kentucky, no craft funk to it whatsoever. I would easily rank that out of 100 proofers, especially within the craft brands, maybe even some of the legacy brands, as a 100 proof bourbon. I would easily rank that probably like a 4.1 out of 5, because it has the finish, it has that nice front end on it, has the sweetness, it has body, has that velvety texture. Easily, like it has a really good nose. I like that a lot, guys. All right, Garen, thank you for putting me on that. Garen is the guy that told me about them. He's a distributor in Georgia who works with them and carries their product, and was like, man, I'd be eager for you to try them. I really think you would like it. So far, so good. Get that one over here out of our way. And we'll move on to this 250th Paul Revere. And this bottle has a lot of cool stuff going on about it. So let's talk a little bit about it. So this is the Revere Small Batch Bourbon, the American Spirit, bottled for patriots, honoring 250 years. In 1775, Paul Revere rode through the night to sound the alarm for something worth fighting for. In 2026, we raise a glass to what was built because of that. It's a 750 milliliter bottle. SRP is $59.99. It's 100 proof. They have a really cool write-up on their website if you guys want to go over to the website and check that out. It's a 75% corn, 21% rye, 4% malted barley. It's a rye forward mash bill. It doesn't lie. Revere Kentucky Spirit Bourbon delivers the rich, full-flavored character American native spirit is known for. Deepened by 5 years in oak and bottled at 100 proof the way it was meant to be enjoyed. The way the label reads, it's hard to say if this is distilled by Casey Jones or if it was sourced, because it just says distilled in Kentucky, and then it says aged and bottled by Casey Jones. It does have their master distiller's signature at the top of it, but I'm very leery when I read labels, because usually it will say distilled by if they were the ones to distill it. So we'll see what that is. Not that it really matters, but we're going to get into this 5-year 100 proof. Something that really bothers me when I pour whiskey is I don't pay attention to the front label. I hate to pour over the front label, because then you have whiskey run down that front of the label and it could ruin it. If anything, I'd rather it run down the backside, right? Or run over the gap in the bottle. If they're, like you have a bottle like this that has the gap in the label, let that whiskey run down the side. Just be mindful of that. Maybe that's just an ADHD thing of me. Can you put the dogs in the laundry room since I'm recording, please?
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna bark anyways. There's a UPS man over in front.
Well, they shouldn't. If they're in the laundry room, they don't bark for me.
Okay, I have to a little bit. Maybe able to leave.
Do what?
I have to leave in a little bit. Am I gonna be able to open the garage?
Yeah, you can open the garage, baby. All right, so really cool bottle. I love the neck on it, the neck wrapper. I did some really cool photos of this bottle earlier. Like with all the foil that they have on it, it really looks like the windows are lighting up in the house, if you can see that. That's just really cool. So some of the photos look really cool. Like there were some lights on in the house. There were some that were off. It's got a nice little timeline on the bottle. Let's see what we think about it. There's your color. Nice and rich. Good gold color. On the nose, this one's going to be a lot darker than that first one. I'm getting like dark raspberries, maybe blackberry. Some baking spice in there. I can't really articulate, but when I say baking spice, sometimes I think like, I don't know, like coriander or sage, or let's see what it's like. It is definitely a more savory pour. Has a lot of finish to it. It's absolutely delicious. My goodness gracious. I had to make sure I grabbed the 100 proof, for that has so much flavor for 100 proof. I'm excited to get into that single barrel now. Dear Lord, that is really good. So I'm going to be getting a lot of darker tea notes, a lot of darker fruits. It's a very unique sweetness going on there. Man, I wish I could really fully articulate this for you guys. It is really good. Maybe like some coffee in there, the tea, the berry, long finish. Totally different flavor profile than the first one we did. That is really good. My goodness gracious. Okay. We're going to move on from that. I don't want to. I want to keep drinking that bottle. It is really good. I like both of them. This one reminds you more of a typical type bourbon flavor, right? This thing comes in with some weird darknesses that, man, there's, like I said, it's more baking spice and that type of thing. Phenomenal. I'm going to get into this barrel cut. This is Casey Jones double barrel cut. Let's look into that one. Casey Jones Distillery double barrel cut. Prohibition era moonshine, twice barrel aged. This is one platinum with Fred Minnick, and it's won bronze at the American Craft Spirits. Distilled from 50% corn, yellow dent corn, 50% pure cane sugar. It was first aged up to 3 years in a number 4 char barrels and then finished 1 year in one of their used bourbon barrels. It's craft small batches of 2 to 4 barrel production, cash strength, a $45 bottle, 750 mLs. Look at the color on this thing. I mean, that thing is extremely dark to only be 4 to 5 years old. Square pot distilled, bottled by Casey Jones Distillery, Hopkinsville, Kentucky. None of this is saying that it is distilled by Casey Jones, and I just really don't understand that, but they've got these square pots, so they've got to be distilling all their juice, right? Let's get into it. It's a 50-50 yellow corn and cane sugar. It just looks oily in the glass, which makes me really happy. So, oh, wow. Okay, so now this is going to be more of your maple syrups, molasses, raisins, maybe some fig. There's a nuttiness there that I can't really tell you. Maybe like a walnut. There's some leatheriness going on there, some tobacco. That's really nice, guys. 115 proof. Let's see what it's like. Wow. It's still going. You've got to think some of the darkest chocolate caramels, like a raisin. Have you ever had a raisin candy, like dark chocolate with the dark caramel on the inside? It's that. Rolos maybe, but Rolos may be too bright or too light. That might be more milk chocolate and more creamy caramel. We're talking dark caramels and dark chocolates. Super thick mouthfeel. Really velvety, buttery mouthfeel. Finish goes for days, guys. There is some like little bright fruit that tries to shine through in there, and I can't tell you what that is. Is it grape? Maybe. That sip was totally different than the first one. This thing has some complexity to it. Oh my God. I'd just about say that's dessert in a bottle. Fantastic. All right. My goodness. 3 in, 2 to go. And I couldn't be more excited. We've had 3 different sips here, 3 different profiles, all of which have excited me. All right. Before we get into that Amburano, we're going to jump into this Revere single cast. So very similar label to what we had in the small batch. Symbolizes the same thing as the other one. Let's talk a little bit about it. Revere Cask Strength Single Barrel Bourbon. The American Spirit now at full proof, bottled for America's 250th. The first single barrel release in the Revere line, handpicked from AJ's private stocks by our customers, uncut, unnumbered, and built for a once-in-a-lifetime celebration. $76 a bottle per $750. They're sold out. There are 148 bottles at 123 proof. Release 2 is coming soon. First release was barrel number 1192, aged 7 years, 123.7 proof, 148 bottles, unanimously hand-picked, Casey Jones Barrel Pick Program. I could not be more excited to get into this bottle. Wow. All right, what are we going to do? So, maybe a hair darker. It's probably closer to that double barrel in color. It seems oily, but maybe not quite as oily as that double barrel. Here we go with another profile. Very similar to the small batch in the profile, but it's just a lot more pronounced. So you're getting those tobaccos, you're getting a little bit of the ethanol in the nose. It's a mix of like some brighter fruits, but then like darker leatheriness, some tobacco. It's a different type of tobacco where I was getting like maybe wet English tobacco on the others. This one is a little bit more cherry type tobacco. There's some bacon spice going on there. All right, here we go. Let's see what we think about it. I'm waiting. It won't quit talking to me. It will not stop talking to me. You ever heard of or someone call a whiskey a storyteller? Seth Detling calls a lot of them storytellers. And it's when they're very complex and they unfold over time. Like as this glass sits here and opens up past this fresh crack, and as that bottle opens up, things are going to happen. And it's going to be a different chapter every time. You can sit here and nose this glass now and nose it 10 minutes later, and it's going to be in a different chapter. And you're going to miss chapter 1, right? This thing is crazy. That's good. So it did come on a touch ethanol forward up front. So it drank a little hot up front, and I was just like, okay, where's the flavor? And then when the flavor started coming on, dear God, y'all, it blew my mind. Like, there's so much going on there. I'm going to go in for another sip. I'm going to try my best to articulate this for you. Bottom line is it's flipping fantastic. And it is a mix. It's not nearly as dark as this thing was. It's not as much dark chocolates and caramels as this thing was. But it's not nearly as bright as what this one was. This one is maybe a mix between the two almost. I don't know. Let's see. Medium mouthfeel. Not nearly as velvety as some of the others, but it's on that line. Oh my God. Rich, buttery caramels. Just coat your palate with like a buttery sweetness. It's got a nice rye spice to it. Absolutely delicious. Some darker tobaccos. There's some cherry that comes in late to mid palate, like a Luxardo type cherry. Syrupy. And then there's like maybe like a cashew nuttiness, creaminess at the very tail end on the backside of your palate. Wow. Okay. Woo! I don't know what to say. I'm shocked. I'm beyond words. Like, I did not expect this to be this good. And I hope that you guys know that I'm not here to gas you up. I'm not here to just like fluff a brand. They sent these bottles over. So have other brands. And if I didn't like the bottle, I told you that I didn't like it. And there again, I like these, and it's my opinion. You may hate them. I don't see how you could if you like whiskey, dude. God, they're good. I'm going to crush these bottles. I am. That's absolutely delicious. All right. One of the bigger names in bourbon as an influencer, not Fred Minnick, but maybe Fred Minnick. But I heard or read that this was called the best Amberana in whiskey or on the market. Let's look into the old Amberana. I feel like Amberana is similar in nature, in premise of how you use it, as it would be if you were using cilantro in a salad. I've said this before. And Seth Detling says it all the time. You wouldn't make a salad out of cilantro, but just a pinch of cilantro on top of your salad or on top of your dish, right? So a few hours of Amberana, maybe a day or two of Amberana, 6 weeks, 8 months, a year in Amberana, no bueno. So let's talk a little bit about this one, and then we'll get into it. All right, so it's 112 proof. It's Amberana finished, very small batches. All right, so this is barrel finished. It's batch number 5, 115.5 proof. It's distilled from corn and cane, finished in Amberana. So this was finished in an Amberana barrel. Authentic square pot distilling. This may be where it goes south for me. I'm typically not cinnamon toast crunch Amberana liking type of. It just doesn't do it for me. Some people love it. I get it. This one makes me nervous. So let's see. You most certainly get the Amberana on the nose. It's that really sweet cinnamon Super sweet cinnamon, like a cinnamon roll. Like if you were to just tear into a cinnamon roll and just, you get some of, there's a little bit of like a bready, yeasty cinnamon type note. It smells absolutely delicious. Similar to the American Single Malt Founders 12-year that we got from Stranahan's last year. It was like an apple turnover. Along that line, very sweet on the nose. Maybe not quite as much. There's not apple and stuff going on there. So let's see what we think about it. I'll let you see the color of it. All right, let's give it a whirl. I'm nervous. Thicker mouthfeel. Tons of like buttery cinnamon sweetness coming up. Brown sugars. There's a hint of like some type of, maybe like a pecan or something going on there. It's good. It is. For me, it's just way too sweet. Heather may love that. I will absolutely share that with her tonight and get her take on it. She may love that. If you like a lighter sip, or if you like a whiskey after your dinner and you want more of a dessert pour, 100% dessert pour. Is there anything bad about it? No. I just don't prefer so much sweetness in a whiskey. So for me, it's not something that I'm going to run to. I take a sip here or there. I don't know if I'd ever sit down and have a pour of it. But I know that there are people that would. There's plenty of people that would love to have that sweet richness at the end of a meal, sitting around a fire. I can see that. So maybe it makes a really good cocktail too, you know, if you're really good at like mixing things up. But for me, these are going to be more my jam. And I couldn't pick just one if I had to, guys. I mean, I really liked them all. These two are my favorite. If I'm going to just judge, these two are my favorite. This one leans a little bit desserty, but it's that chocolate caramel type sweetness that I like. This one right here, super savory, freaking delicious. So if you guys haven't checked out Casey Jones, I know this was a long video. I hope that if you got bored with it, you watched it on 2x speed. But if you haven't checked out Casey Jones, I implore you to find a bottle of it. Go visit them. I'm going to try to go visit them as soon as I can. I think in July, we're going to try to pass by there, July 9th, 10th, 12th, somewhere in there. So hopefully that pans out. But I hope this helps you guys out. If you've never heard of Casey Jones, now you've at least heard of them. Hopefully you know that you can trust me in the fact that I'm telling you the brutal, honest truth of my opinion. And that's what it is today. So guys, if you hadn't looked over at the Patreon, we're growing by leaps and bounds over there. We're to the point now where when we go to a distillery and we're picking barrels, we need more than one. We need more than 2 barrels, because a lot of times your yields are 150, 160 bottles, and we're picking barrels left and right. We did pass up on a couple barrel picks here recently, unfortunately. We'll circle back to those and see what we think, but we have several coming in the next few days. We got more Crittenden coming to the website. Matt's already shipped some stuff over. Got some different offerings from Crittenden coming soon. So hopefully you guys will look over there, and if you are grabbing our barrel picks, you'll want to look over there and grab a Crittenden or 2 to throw in there to kind of smooth out the shipping cost, right? We've got Leaper's Fork. We've got 2 bottles coming. Fork around and find out. Those will be hitting Longhorn here in June. Hopefully I get this video edited and out in June. Also, we have our Detling pick that's coming there again. That's going to be very light and 180 bottles. It'll go really quickly. But on the heels of all that, we still are waiting on our Broad Branch pick to come in. We've got our Onyx and Amber that should be bottling soon. And we've got several more picks that we're going to do. So waiting on a Crittenden barrel to age out. We're waiting until 9 years on barrel 59 there. So that'll be coming. Not a clue what our yield might be. 9 years is steep for Crittenden. I think this barrel had 10 or 12 in it. I would love to see it go to 10 and see what happened, but I think the group wants it. So we're going to probably go ahead and dump it in September. But anyway, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Y'all make this thing go round for me. Until the next time, I'm not going to grab that Amberana. Y'all let the whiskey and the friendships flow. Cheers. That's fantastic.